Welcome back to This Week in Jump, Part 2. We're continuing off with Act Age.
Mm-hmm.
We start off with, who is it? Hina?
Hina's our first name.
Hina. We have her just talking with Ryoma on the phone, and she's, just flirting, having fun because, they're friends. And when he brings up that, this kind of like a date, like, I don't mean a date, and he hangs up on her.
I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, you're my friend, but he might be playing the I think of you as just a friend card.
Yeah, probably, but
that'd be funny. But we then see her receive a message from Yoshioka to a kind of communal kind of app. I'm not really sure.
it's Line.
I'm not quite.
I
I'm
think
not
it's
familiar
Line.
with. I'm not familiar with Line.
Oh, you can share video.
You can create
text,
groups.
You can create groups.
Okay, so very similar.
She sent a video of Yonagi, and she's in her summer outfit. Summer uniform, sorry.
Yeah. And she's making the exact same expressions as when Hina originally met Yanagi. So she has her own little flashback to that of trying to befriend Yanagi right when she met her. Hina was trying to get to know her. She just got to this school. She doesn't really have a lot of people from her previous school, so she wanted to make friends with the beautiful Yanagi.
By going out for karaoke.
Karaoke. Very...
High school kids do that.
High school kids. You can really get to know some people, how comfortable they are with, speaking, what kind of music they like. You could learn so much from just going to karaoke with some.
But she has to go to work because she's the only income for her house.
Yeah. So after seeing that kind of reaction, Hina kind of gets out of her dream state, her memories, and continues looking at the video. And she sees that the trees outside are bare. She's in her summer outfit, but it's current times. It's the winter.
Yeah, she thought it was a recorded video, but it turns out this was a live feed. Yeah. She didn't pick up on that until she saw the tree.
Yeah, because Yoshioka, this is props to him. He's being able to portray something very special by filming. He is already showing his prowess as a director. Or at least a cameraman. But we get to see Yonagi talking. We get to see... This is a video made specifically for Hina. She's trying... Yonagi and, in a sense, Yoshioka are trying to be friends to Hina, and still trying to get her help because they really can't do it without her.
Nope. And she even says that she's not the same person anymore, and she's doing this without the assistance of makeup or anything. All she did was like widen her eyes, and is able to give off a completely different vibe during the monologue to Hina, who's just watching the video before they cut the feed and let Hina think about it.
Yeah. She feels annoyed, but is that really how she should feel right now? It's like these two people worked to make a video just for her, even acting just for her, to really get those kinds of feelings across. But they don't hear back from her that night.
Nope.
So they just, we're gonna try to keep doing it. Maybe people will go away.
Nope.
Nope, there's a big old crowd. Yonagi's getting annoyed, really, at all these people. Like, oh, thank you for, paying attention to me, but we're trying to work. Like, can you not? But she doesn't want to burn any bridges.
Nope.
So she's not let it. She's not telling anyone off to leave. Hina comes in to the school grounds and just walks past Yoshioka and Yanagi, and she calls out to them, essentially drawing attention to herself and the crowd around them as well. Like, oh, don't be late. The bell's about to ring. So the crowd just starts walking away, walking faster. They don't bother checking their watches. They don't bother checking their phones.
Well, actually, the bell did ring.
Oh,
She wasn't wrong.
she was wrong, but her timing's impeccable.
So she uses that as basically a diversion to have an excuse to just have a one-on-one conversation with Yonagi. And we get a little humorous interaction by saying...
But
Yeah.
the other part of that,
Yeah.
having everyone move, leaves them just enough time to where it's free. They're free of other people to record.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has it works both ways.
Yeah, and
On both levels.
yeah, and like you said,
I liked that.
She-
you just read it word for word. I thought it was great.
yeah, Hina just says, "Promise me you'll keep your hands off of Ryoma."
Huh?
Like, promise me.
Promise?
Like, okay, cool. It's so funny. It's very pure. Like, what I'm really afraid of is you taking taking my crush away. I've worked so hard to really get to know him, get close to him, and have feelings for. Don't just come in here and try to take that away. Like, Unagi doesn't care really about
She
boys
doesn't have
right now.
no, she doesn't have an interest in him.
She loves acting now. She has a lot of friends who are boys, but she treats them all the same.
Yeah, I was gonna say she hasn't shown any romantic feelings for any of her male co-stars nor male acquaintances.
Neither does, like Yoshioka, the new boy. Like, no.
Well, he likes her, but I don't know if it's more than just like professional type of admiration.
Yeah, admiration and kind of like the subject matter. It's like, I want to tell your story. Your story sounds cool. Kind of like Netflix going after the newer like Jeffrey Dahmer and
they're like kind of like
making a murderer. Like, they care about the person and what they did.
A deeper dive.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that type of
But
thing.
we end with Hina making a group chat
For the cinema club.
in line for the cinema club, and it currently has 3 members. She has not invited Ryoma to it just yet.
You think she's going to try and convince him to join?
Yeah, I don't think it'll take much convincing.
He seems rather indifferent. I just think he wants to keep playing his Switch. I can't blame him.
Alrighty, next we have One Piece. We're at a very interesting mark right now for One Piece. There's a lot of stories still happening. Some of them are being resolved, some people are getting away, and some fights are being had. We have Zoro fighting the essentially Grim Reaper-esque character, where he got injured, but because of that injury, he was going to go fight the bandit.
Kuyukimaru.
Yes. And he passes out. Just like, nope, don't do it. I'm gonna pass out.
Yeah.
Flash to the other side of the map
Mm-hmm.
of the Wano country. We have Kinemon talking about the samurai plan to get followers
Being compromised.
There's a rat somewhere, or someone figured it out. Most likely a rat. I still don't know why this is happening. I thought this was really I thought this was pretty secretive, with ninjas and everything. But apparently not. And people are going to be either killed or sent to prison. Like, people are getting hurt.
Anybody who has the symbol for the tattoo or basically the physical piece of paper.
Yeah.
The flyer.
And like Lord Orochi is getting really mad about that piece of paper and like what's going on, because literally people are trying to dethrone him. And that samurai, he's still acting so coy. I'm not sure if that's just how his character like looks all the time, but I thought he was going to flip one way and help out the Straw Hats, help out this rebellion, and then now like I'm the opposite now again. That he's clearly
you can't tell where his
against
loyalty
them.
lies.
Yeah, I really don't know. Jumping on over, we go to Abisu Town, where we have Nami meeting up with Frankie and Sanji. And Sanji got beat.
Well, once they were safe, she beat the crap out of him because he was the one that brought them to Frankie and all of them.
Yeah, because he could keep jumping in the air constantly.
Yes.
And he got beat up for good reason. He could have been helping. I don't think it's so much for seeing Nami completely naked, but the fact that he nearly died and risked all of their lives
Was dumb.
to peep. And then, yeah, that was just dumb. He doesn't regret it.
No. He knew what he was getting in for.
He knew what he was doing.
Shinobu gives Law a hard time, thinking that it was coming from Beppo.
Yeah, that they blab that they're the traitors. Like, how dare you? They are the heart pirates, and they would never do something like that. They would rather die than sell me and, allies out.
Kanzuro gets them in line, though.
Yeah.
Then they're interrupted by Tonoyasu, the very weird, smiling man. He's always smiling.
Man. I really don't like him. I really don't.
I'm almost positive he'll be integral later.
I think he's the rat just because I don't like how he looks. I want him to be the rat. But I don't think so. I think he's just, comedy relief.
Well, he seems psyched about a final battle happening.
Yeah. Like, I can't wait. I've been waiting 20 years for this. We have going to back
to the first story.
Yeah. We have Zoro waking up and freaking out, like, "Oh, where's my sword? You're injured, idiot!" Like, Toko's just finding the humor in it, like, "Oh, he's alive, great." Introduces herself as Toko, and they're healing him up for some. I don't know where they are. I don't know where this building is.
It's in the northern graveyard in the Ringo area, so
Okay.
it's not far from this bridge because the outside was snowing as well.
Yeah, and apparently the bandit has some honor, not just outright killing Zoro. Or
she says that he'll fight anybody who tries to cross the bridge with weapons and take the weapons. And so he's like a famous figure in that area.
Yeah, which is still really weird. But this girl and Toko are still feeding and healing Zoro, giving him a toad oil, giving him what looks like... somehow in this area they found food. And shelter. But food, remember, like in the previous couple of chapters, food is being
scarce.
Scarce.
It's very scarce.
So they found somewhere that has food, or maybe she stole some food and was hiding it under her clothes. But we haven't been giving this girl a name, like you said in previous This Week in Jumps, that we haven't gotten a name for her. Well, here's why.
I know.
Her name is Hiyori.
Monosuke's sister.
Monosuke's little sister. Little sister because she did not get teleported back. She is actually 20-something years old.
She'd be probably like I don't. They probably did give an age. I'm not gonna remember how old she was whenever they got. She's probably like 22, 21.
Yeah, because it doesn't look like Monosuke is 10. It doesn't look like he's 10 yet. He still looks younger than 10. So that puts her very young and kind of a badass. Like outrunning, the Grim Reaper without, as far as we've seen, any weapons or any kind of powers, devil fruit powers. Who is, like, really, what kind of
life has she been living?
Life has she been living, and what kind of power does she have? If this is just luck, then she might be one of the luckiest people in this universe.
I think we might be getting a couple of flashbacks because it's kind of teased 20 years of memories. Mm-hmm. So it might be like a flashback arc showing what she went through up to this point from the time when the 20-year gap they were teleported into the future. I'm speculating on that.
I would like that for Hiyori. Like, now that we actually have a name for her and, kind of the uniqueness around her, I'm okay with this.
Oh, and for the Bandit on the Bridge, isn't there like a Japanese legend about like sages, or not sages, monks that would go around and like basically like take over an area and like protect the village by keeping people from crossing the bridge, and they would basically like keep taking all the weapons from all the people that would try and go through.
Yeah, I do remember something along those lines. If it is, I'll post a link for that down in the description for you. Up next, we have My Hero Academia. This is another chapter that's solely focusing on the villains, the League of Villains. We have a great first page, Deku, the Kaiju.
Deku Mothra.
Deku Mothra. I don't know why they did this. It's just funny, and
I want them to do kaiju covers for every character. Please make this happen. That is all. Now
that's great. We have Shigaraki talking with the doctor, trying to get on his side to really prove to him that I am trying to do my best. I am trying to make some changes, but there's been a lack of resolve on his part, and we see something that triggers Shigaraki, because the doctor was very integral into Shigaraki's upbringing, because when the doctor and All For One found him, the doctor suggested that he fix him, that he kind of experiment on him to make him feel better. No, the All For One really wanted him to raise him, a little bit more like family, but with unique little toys. Because we find out that Shigaraki murdered his entire family. Accidentally. He killed apparently what looks like a young sister, a mother and father.
Yeah, it's
as well as a pet dog. Like, everything was already bad, but whenever you add
Zwei,
a dog, whenever you add
it's a corgi, it's Zwei.
Yeah, whenever you add animals being hurt, and in this case, just killed, like, okay, yeah, this is just absolutely terrible. And remembering what he had done, just immediately turns his stomach and just
he retches.
And then he reaches for the hands, because these are the hands of his family.
I was gonna say all that's left of them.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is figuratively or quite literally, because in certain instances these hands would not be able to grab. These hands would deteriorate and rot and stink.
True, but you also see that they're like modified to where they can like almost be like attachments. I'm not entirely sure if those are like literal, like actual like hands, and maybe there's like some way he's preserving them to where they're able to move or be placed in certain ways. No clue on that.
Yeah, it's
no clarification.
It's interesting, and
I like it.
we have no idea. So then, Shigaraki, kind of thinking back on his childhood upbringing, he just hates everything.
Destroy everything.
He wants to destroy it all. He wants to get rid of quirks. He wants to get rid of heroes. He wants to get rid of crappy people. He wants to get rid of people that are having fun. He doesn't think that people deserve this. He really wants to just go at it. And the doctor's like, oh yes, like this is the kind of masterful kind of plan and kind of, roadmap that he wants to be a part of. And he
likens it to a child's fantasy, but he was always going to help him anyway.
Yeah.
He just wanted to really like kind of like bust his balls.
Yeah. He's the crazy uncle in this case. He really is. I don't think of him as like the second dad. Because all for One was there as well as the doctor. I don't think of him as the second dad. I think of him as the crazy uncle. What's the crazy uncle from Adam's Family?
Fester?
Yeah, he reminds me a lot
Fester.
of Uncle Fester. And that's a compliment. Let me say that.
That's
not
an insult. Not an insult. Okay.
So
I kind of figured that's what you meant.
Yeah. So then, he wants to destroy. Shigaraki wants to destroy everything. Like Toga says, even we're helping you. Do you even want to destroy the stuff I like?
Exceptions.
Like my allies are exceptions. You can do whatever you want. But
so
okay.
Just join him and you're cool.
Yeah,
cool.
Do whatever you want. Like you have free reign on that. And then, you might be okay with the doctor. You're okay with me. But you still have to convince Giganto Makia. This thing is...
He's pretty OP.
Yeah. I'm still unsure
wondering
what
how
he
they're
is,
going to defeat.
But he does have a certain amount of intelligence. Because Shigaraki goes up to him after they receive some communicators that each one of them gets to talk with the doctor directly. Shigaraki proclaims himself that the future king has returned, essentially the king of this world, and his Makia's return is just a king is someone who inspires fear, and the king is someone who is strong.
He needs to prove himself.
Yeah, he needs to prove himself.
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, me neither.
It's like a flesh blob on the last page, just after you have that exchange, and then you have like Spinner just there and saying, "Okay, now we're all caught up," kind of.
Yeah. But the other part that I glossed over is, how are they going to go back to Makia?
Oh, the quirk from the Nomu?
From the tiny little Nomu. Just essentially this little pet.
It looks like a head, like just the head.
But it has shoes. It has legs.
Yeah,
it's bipedal, and its head, its brain is exposed, and it has little prods in it that the doctor uses to open the jaw and just release the quirk that's been used to teleport. And this thing, it looks like it's in such pain, but when it was in the doctor's lap, it was okay. It was whatever.
I would assume that it's probably in. Yeah, it looks like it's in immense pain when it's actually
Yeah.
doing it.
And it also looks like a specific part of its brain is being prodded to activate its quirk. It is not doing it intentionally. Or the opposite, it's always trying to do the quirk. Its mouth is sealed, and he only releases it right away. But in that case, no, just trying to figure out how this specific quirk works. How does the doctor know exactly where to send them? How does this little Nomu know exactly where to send them and to bring people in? That's the part that
You can't.
I don't know about
Yeah, I
this.
can't work that out in my head right now. I was trying to think of that too.
But it's neat. And we'll see the next chapter. We'll see how the League of Villains is supposedly destroyed.
Well, it will soon be destroyed by the CEO of Detmarat looking.
Destro 2.0. Next up, we have more happy times, more slice of life. Yui Kamio, let's loose. I'm just enjoying this series. It doesn't really have a linear kind of plot right now. It really is. The fights come as they are. We have Mai fighting Black Yui, and this is going to be the start of their fight. As soon as the ribbon touches the ground, they both know they're going to start fighting. And in this case, Mai is just thrashing about, but they're in a rich school. Like, remember this
Nice private school.
nice private school. So there's nice artifacts, there's nice pottery, nice artwork
Paintings, yeah.
that is just being destroyed right now. Some people are really worried, but then some other students are just, okay, I guess that's broken. They need to be more careful, really being nonchalant about it. And
Kito's street cred gets destroyed.
yeah, Kito is really, he's not in control here. He's not fighting. He's freaking out a little bit, trying to get these two girls to just not fight. He quickly tries to wrap up Yui's hair, and he does so for a grand total of like 20 seconds before Mai just turns around and because Mai and White Yui, they're pretty neat with each other. They're very nice. But she turns around and Kito never learned how to tie a knot in his life. I'm not even sure if he has laces on his shoes.
Well, to be fair, I don't know how to tie a bow in a girl's hair.
I could figure something out though.
You do it like this with your hands.
Yeah. Then Ebby, being near passed out, shouts out that you didn't tie it. You messed up. She's turning back into her black form.
And the fight resumes.
Fight resumes. There's actually some good fighting choreography going on here. And it's not any particular style. Mai is obviously using some karate.
Mm-hmm.
But Yui really is just acting on instinct. And blocking as such. But she kind of knows karate already. But Mai pulls out something that's, not karate. Mm-hmm. She's pulling out she calls it a delinquent kind of attack. And she's holding Yui in a very unflattering and
very awkward angle.
But apparently is like holding all of her joints kind of together so that she's unable to move and is just hurting Yui. And she even kind of
looks like she's fainting for a second there.
Fainting like a little bit.
Kind of like a sleeper hold.
Yeah.
But like much more complicated to
Yeah,
pull off.
and she's really excited that she's able to do this on her. And then it didn't actually work. Because Yui just stands up and, like, you're not actually really grabbing anything. Like, it's not going to actually work on me. Not because it's not a viable option, but because you're just not strong enough to hold her down. And she just, throws her to the ground. Now that she has her, victory, she makes a very cute victory pose and forces Kito to take a picture of it
For the Instagram.
and immediately, like, put it as your screensaver. Put it on your screen. Put it on your phone. And like
But that gives now the chance to tie it up.
Yeah,
Put her back.
this Black Yui is still acting very, very cute. She's being very forward, like, oh, do it. It's like, I like that picture. Like, put it on your phone so that, it'll make you happy seeing me on there.
Other than the fighting and being a little pushy, I don't see anything bad about her being out. It's just the fighting part. I think.
She's just a little wild. She's very outgoing. A little bit too much outgoing in certain regards, but yeah, she's not a bad person when Black Yui is out.
Yeah, I was expecting her to like constantly be like thrashing about,
being angry, yelling.
Mm-hmm.
Just breaking stuff just because she can, just causing trouble because she can.
Most of the time we've seen her, she's just kind of running away from the fights, or just fighting when she has to. Oh, I was going to say that the standing up and the grappling thing made me think of Baki.
Oh.
Just because there's a scene from the first part of Baki where he goes against his dad, Yujiro, and he's like 13, and his dad's like, full-grown adult. And he gets on him, and he's like beating him. And then he's just standing there taking it like it's nothing. He's like fully latched on, and Yui's standing there with Mai on her like that. Made me think of that.
We'll put a side-by-side shot of that. And, for whatever reason, Mai and Yui White
Seems more like a rivalry.
are just... Yeah, it's
for the black version. White Yui wants to be friends with her.
Yeah, she just wants to be best friends. And Mai even says, "Oh, don't cheat on me too much." Kito has it's a love paradox. It's really what it is.
Love harem. It's a harem.
It's
a harem.
I hope it doesn't go that way. I don't think it will.
Harem.
But
Okay.
we'll see in the next chapter. Up next, we have Black Clover. So, starting off, what I said last week about the kind of magic that's appearing, it doesn't make sense now that I've had a week to really go on it. It makes sense that the ability that Patry uses is the one that Licht was using, that several captains had it to work together to block. This is referencing the attack that Licht was using when Asta, Gauch, and Yami were fighting in the wintry kind of area in the big cavern.
Okay.
Where they first met.
The guy with the really sharp fangs.
Yes.
I forgot his name.
And another one, the essentially curse kind of users. Cursed magic users, which several captains had to block to get through. Yami couldn't do it himself. So they're facing that head on, a amplified version of that.
Ray of divine punishment.
Yeah, so Asta and Yuno try to block this by combining their magic together and being able to block it, or at least deflect it. But no, they're pushed back by it quite a bit. They are able to deflect it, but not at Patoli. Asta actually is the one that runs out of steam first. Surprisingly, like for his stamina that goes through his.
Well, to be fair, it looks like he's more on the front side of the attack.
Yeah.
He took the brunt of the force. That's just because he was. Yeah, even in some of the other panels, you see that he's like closer. He was
Significantly
right
closer to
behind him.
blast.
Yeah.
And Asta, boop, his wing drops and he falls. Catches him, but he's still catching his breath.
He won't be able to block another attack
Yeah,
of that
and
magnitude.
that's exactly what's coming.
Yep.
And very surprisingly, we have someone who's coming to help. Someone who shields Yuno and Asta. We have Nozel Silva, the Mercury magic user. Considering that we had two other people of the Midnight Sun show up in the last chapter, I was half expecting them to be a distraction or to help out in that fact. No, it's someone completely different. Nozel shows up and is able to deflect this attack just by himself.
He has the best typing.
Something that Yami wasn't able to do, but this we learn about typings and how teams are formed. It's not just your friends, it's not just who you know, it's how your magic works with others. That's why Asta, with the Black Bulls, is able to form teams with any of them. Because his anti-magic is so versatile, like Nozel's, that he can be a team himself. Like, ooh,
that's like next level.
Yeah, that's some really cool stuff. That's having an ability or a magic of a higher caliber. Like, okay, big attack gets blocked by Nozel. How about a lot of small light attacks? Nope, those get blocked by shields, literal shields that are created by Mercury. And Mercury, he's able to be a squad by himself. He creates an elaborate cage, an enclosure.
They call it the Silver Star of Execution.
Yeah, and execution is right, because in this case, any magic that is of his light that is sent out gets reflected and amplified by increasing in velocity time and time again. So the more magic that he tries to use, the worse it gets reflected back to him, and he instantly, the Dark Elf Patoli instantly KOs himself because he's in a berserk-like state that he
Die
lets it
and
out.
hate. That's all he says.
That he instantly KOs himself inside of this cage, inside of this enclosure. But the best part of this, it's not number 1 this week.
Clearly, because it's number 5 right now.
Yeah. But we have some information that is new to us that brings in a new rival for Asta, Yuno, and Fuego Leon. We have Nozel Silva, who declares 2 people that he knows are going for the same goal, to become the Wizard King.
And that's the end of part 2. Stay tuned for part 3. Coming soon.